The obsession of weight, self-image, and other perceptions of the human body have been present for many years in both genders, all races, and ethnic groups. A negative outlook on self-image affects how a person treats themselves and how they handle their problems. Of the ways a person could view themselves, most will see the negative side of their lives and begin to think of themselves in an undesirable manner, which leads to self-harm. Once a person has a destructive outlook on their life, they will do anything to make themselves normal so they fit in. And one of the ways a person will do this is by implementing an eating disorder into their life. Nearly 30 million Americans of both genders, every race, and all ages suffer from at least one of the many eating disorders, or silent killers as they call them, and have the highest mortality rate of any mental illness. Eating disorders have become an increasing problem in America and cause threatening situations in households, and though there is not a solution to this problem, there are a few things that could aid in the prevention of eating disorders. Of the things that contribute to the problem of eating disorders, the physiological factors in the human brains hold a big part in developing an eating disorder, and it is one of the main reasons a person begins to espouse in one. Physiological factors are those that consist of emotional and mental elements. Both of these elements are what make up a person, so when they are damaged or have experienced trauma, a person has a greater chance of adopting an eating disorder. Low self-esteem, feeling inadequate, stress, depression, and trauma are a few of the physiological factors that could lead to a person adopting an eating disorder, and with these thoughts, a person becomes unsatisfied with the person they are. When a person begins to think negative about themselves, they begin to look for ways to make themselves better, to conform with what they think they should look like. A person unsatisfied with their physical appearance leads to a harsh and unenjoyable life, and a person will then try to fix themselves in a way that is unhealthy and such as an eating disorder. Another thing that can contribute to a person developing an eating disorder are those of socio-cultural influences, which includes watching television, reading books, advertising, peer pressure, and even pressure from a family member. Growing up in the world today, society has a viewpoint on how a person should look, and in today's time, a person does not fit those expectations. They are not what an average person should be. With all this new technology the world has, any person can be and look however they desire, and when a person who is unsatisfied with themselves looks at it, they begin to think they have to be like that person. Today's society is one that is difficult to understand, but it is one that is very deceptive of people, which then makes the person believe they must be just as the world tells them to be. This is one of the other ways a person seems to develop an eating disorder, and the eating disorder can lead to the death of that person. Though many things can contribute to a person developing an eating disorder, a few things can help a person decide against taking it into effect. One of the main things a person could do to prevent an eating disorder, and the hardest, is to love and accept everything about themselves, including their flaws. A person must love themselves before they can be loved. Also, a person can prevent adopting an eating disorder by realizing what they are worth and constantly reminding themselves that they are perfect in their own and unique way. A person may also find peace and comfort by talking to someone about what is going on in their life, and this person may help realize that they are their own person and no one else can be like them. Through the process of growing up, you will begin to think you have to be a certain way, and it is also very good to talk to somebody else, because once you get an eating disorder, it is very hard to get rid of it, and it is very mentally harming. And these are a few pictures of somebody who have anorexia. Those are terrible.